For middle school statistics, box and whisker plots are a new topic for our students. Brian, when I was teaching box and whisker plots, my 6th and 7th graders just had the hardest time with them. They just didn't get it. What could I have done?
Yeah, it is difficult for the kids. So what I'd like to do is to give them a contextual situation that has meaning for them. And one of the best things I would do is I would get the students to measure their heights. So have the students generate their own data, and we would measure their height in inches, and then we would plot those, and they could see how they compare to their fellow students. If they were tall, they'd be in the top 25% compared to the rest of the students in that class.
Well, I can see how kids can get a little bit more excited about that if they're seeing themselves in the box and whisker plot.
Right.
Here's a box and whisker plot that is shown in one of the 6th grade release test items. What other kinds of questions could teachers be asking about this box and whisker plot?
Well, one of the questions I would like to ask is, if you look at the upper whisker here, or the upper quartile I should say, if I were to tell you that that represents 10 pieces of data, how many pieces of data must we have started with for this entire box and whisker?
Oh, that's a good question.
So they would have to know that it's, well, 25% is 1/4, so that would mean there would be about 40 points of data that this represents. Another question I would ask is, what does the box represent? What percent of the data is in the box? And that's the middle 50% of the data. Another question I would ask is, what does it mean if the price here was $17? That would mean that they were in the lower 25%, or that 75% of the prices were higher than that point of data.
I can see how, if you make it contextual for the students and ask those kinds of questions, how they can get a lot more interested in it and understand it a whole lot better. Thank you for your insights.
You're welcome.